I'm going to explain to you how to do your amendment project. So essentially what you're going to be doing is creating a document. It could be a poster, it could be a Google Doc, it could be Google Slides, whatever. I would really like you to keep it to one page if you're going to do a Google Slide though, so it kind of looks like a poster. Here is your rubric, and everyone's name is at the bottom with a signed amendment. You can access this through Canvas. So the first thing you got to do, you're going to have to create two posters. The first one being your signed amendment, and you need to, in your own words, explain what the amendment says. I'm not looking for a super complicated explanation, just something very, very simple, and I'll give you an example in just a second. Two, you need to explain what issue is being resolved as best as you can. Again, very, very simple. What was changing, why was it changing, just super short. And I'll again explain more in a minute. And it says you need to include a visual demonstration. That's just a picture, guys. Some people get confused on that. I'm just trying to be a good teacher and use fancy words. All right, so let me show you an example of a poster that I want. This is one that I created. So this is a poster I made about the First Amendment. This is the visual demonstration or picture that I chose. And everybody knows that a bald eagle represents America. You see very clearly right here up the side that it says First Amendment. The First Amendment guarantees 5 different freedoms, which is why I included this part right here that says an essential guide to freedom. And then these 5 freedoms are listed just above the eagle. It says religion, assembly, press, petition, and speech. And then here's a very, very brief explanation of the First Amendment, okay? The reason that I made this poster like this is because the picture grabs your eye. That's the most important thing. Imagine that this were a poster that if you were walking down the hall, you could read it while you were walking and get the gist of it without stopping or breaking stride to look at it. A common mistake that people have when they make posters is it's very wordy and it's not very eye-catching, and if it doesn't catch your eye, then you will not look at it, which means it's kind of useless. You kind of wasted your time making that poster. I feel like this poster grabs your attention, and it is very short and sweet and to the point. You see First Amendment, you can read that quickly. Religion, assembly, press, petition, speech. Read it very quickly. It's only 5 words. You know that the First Amendment deals with freedom because, boom, there's freedom in big letters. And if you really wanted to, you could read this part down here, but without even reading the explanation, you already know what the First Amendment deals with from the very, very short, succinct explanations all around this poster. So going back to the rubric and the assignment, what I want you to do is make a second amendment. Okay, and when I say second, I really mean 28th Amendment. I would like you to create an amendment for the United States of America. Okay, you have to address a current issue in America. All right, please make sure that your amendment is something that can actually be changed. Okay, and what I want to explain is that in the past I've had people say stuff like, no racism. And while that is a great sentiment, you cannot actually legislate the way people feel. And also through court cases, which we'll learn about later on and when we get to the judicial unit, hate speech and hate is actually legal and protected by the Constitution of the United States. Okay? Now, if you were to legislate something like the Civil Rights Act, like in 1964, which was passed by John F. Kennedy, which said that all races had equal access to all public spaces, that is accomplishing your goal of no racism. Although you may not be changing people's minds or what they feel in their heart, you are accomplishing the goal of everyone being equal, or you're at least getting closer to that goal, okay? So make sure that whatever you choose can actually be achieved and is not already a law, if that makes sense. Sometimes I have people say things like, no police brutality, okay? And I totally get that when you don't want the police to be brutal, but you have to legislate a law that would produce what you want. So maybe increase in body cams, maybe increase in police training, things like that. So you actually have to legislate. You have to change ideas to get your ultimate goal across. Okay, I would like you to be able to explain whose rights would be strengthened through this. So, for instance, when you have the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, you are strengthening the rights of African Americans. When you are passing the 19th Amendment, you're strengthening the rights of women. Okay? So, just explain whose rights are being strengthened, how equality is being shown, and explain how your amendment makes America better as a whole. I know you guys are going to crush it. I know you're going to knock it out of the park. I'm really looking forward to what you have. Please email me if you have any questions, and I'd be more than happy to answer. Have a good day, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.